Hey, welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. here. So now we're going to cover the stuff that I've been getting asked on the 2024 Chevy Silverado, up and into including some of the past issues if you're going with the L5P Duramax, which I think debuted late 17-18, if I remember right. And also touch on the new 6.6 liter gas. So after meeting with my Chevy reps, talking with head of marketing, regional management for Chevrolet in this area, most of this information will cross over to some and most of the GMC sister truck. So obviously they have different trims and stuff like that, but specifically we're going to basically be touching on powertrain, which we all know that GMC and Chevy are sister brother trucks, whatever you want to call them, and they carry over a lot of that. So we're not going to delve directly into that, but to be honest with you, I get more interest from the Chevy guys than I do GMC guys. So when we're talking about mechanics, we're going to go on that. All right, so we need to talk about the 2024 that's coming out. So all the 23s that are coming in are going to remain the same body style, interior choices, and interior colors. However, those are now basically coming in and trickling out, as to meaning that you're no longer ordering a 23 really in the grand scheme of things. You're going to be ordering a 24. So if you try and go to the site and try and build a 23, I do believe it's still an option. However, when you go to the dealer, you're going to find out that a lot of those things that you want to order in there are no longer available. Now, I'm not sure why you would want to order a 23, because I don't see any major changes in pricing. It's a little bit higher than it was last year. Just at starting every trim, it's a little bit more expensive, but I don't see a real advantage to going with a 23. Matter of fact, you'd be better off going to a dealer instead of trying to order 23 and trying to get them to discount a 23 they have inbound. Because what I've seen and heard from a lot of my GM ordering managers is that these trucks are coming in and now they're sitting there because everybody wants the new 24. Well, who wouldn't want that? I mean, the new 24 hasn't changed much when it comes to the architecture of the truck itself, but the past that it has that new interior is really, really nice. So first things first, we need to touch on trim levels. So the custom is coming back for 24, but it's only available still in the 2500. However, for as you've seen in some of the trickling in 23s, you can order some of the aspects that you like on the custom. If you like the wheels, I'm a big fan of the custom wheels. You can get those on an LT trim in the 3500. So that was available at some time last year, and we were able to come in with it. But now it is still going to stay in that direction. Custom is going to be a 2500 period, but you can basically build almost an LT custom on the 3500. Now, in 2024, the custom trim is going to come with the old interior. So the 2018 to 2022 interior, it's going to have that interior. So you're not going to get the new display, the digital screen, or anything like that. That's also going to be basically in the work truck style type vehicle. Also, you're going to get that same interior. So if you want the new interior, you're going to have to go in LT trim on every HD truck that you're going to order. So that's going to be the case. Secondly, color options. Depending on the trim of your truck will dictate what color options are available to you. So a lot of people say, well, I couldn't get this color in high country. Absolutely true. They're going to limit some of those specialty colors to that, but I think at the LT level, you're probably going to be able to get into most of the colors that you want. Now, what we're seeing hitting the dealers first, black and white, right? Henry Ford said it best. You can have any color you want as long as you want black. So most of the colors are black, and then most of the colors that are white coming in is because why? Fleet trucks are 90% white. So at the end of the day, that's an easy one for them to send out. All right, so I got to go through my notes as we go through here, and stand by 1 second. All right, so as of right now, if you go to the GM builder, it's just like Ford, it's just like Ram. You're going to see the current options they want to list as you to basically build a truck. However, that is not the end all. You need to go to your dealer, pick a dealer. If you are looking here in Colorado, I have a handful of dealers I trust, feel good about ordering vehicles through, bought from in the past, and I have no affiliation with certain salespeople. I'm just sending you that direction if that's what you want. But it looks like as of right now, you can order most of the colors we saw Red Hot, Lakeshore took the place of North Sky. Sterling Gray, Summit White, Dark Ash Black, Auburn is like a purpley maroonish slate. Radiant Red's the metallic red, Iridescent Pearl. Now again, depending on your package, those are going to go up. But again, like I stressed before, just because you see it here, there's a disclaimer at the very beginning of building any of these trucks on the manufacturer's site saying that this, based on supply chain and demands and everything like that, options may be available on the website that may not actually be available. In addition, it also says that there might be options that are unavailable on the website that are available at the dealer. So again, build it how you think you want, take it to the dealer, and go from there. So, all right. So for 2024, it's kind of a unique situation when it comes to ordering. You can actually save a little money buying a 2500 or ordering a 2500 and getting what's called the max trailering package. Okay, this is going to kind of blow your mind because I've built it several different ways on a 3500 versus a 2500 in packaging and stuff like that. And you might think, well, no, I just get a 3500, pay a little bit more. But here's the thing. You actually get, and I'm just going to read it right from the Chevy site so you guys know. And you have to go in and actually pick this. Oh, and make sure you also pick your heavy-duty trailering mirrors. Otherwise, you might get one of those jabroni trucks that comes in with the half-ton mirrors. And if that's what you like, then cool. But that doesn't seem to work for anybody towing. But if you like them, then that's cool. So if I offend you, then I do apologize. But you get, by buying this package, 3500 HD frame. You get the 3500 HD leaf springs, the 12-inch rear axle, 3500 heavy-duty shock package. You also get the gooseneck fifth wheel prep provisions, which means you don't have to order that separately, which is a $600 option to get the puck system. Pretty fantastic, right? Bed stamped holes and caps installed. And it says may require additional equipment, but when you select that on the site, it actually dings in there. But this actually comes out to be actually still a couple $1,000s cheaper building your 2500 with the max tow. But again, make sure you scroll down, or when you're ordering at the dealer, you request that you get those larger trailer towing mirrors, ones that extend, power fold, have the convex mirror and everything like that. Otherwise, they're going to come in with those little half-ton mirrors. But the max tow package is a win. All right, next on the list, and the biggest one is going to be the Allison transmission question that I'm getting hit all over with. So let's talk Allison, and then we're going to talk about the we're going to talk L5P first, and then we're going to talk about the 6.6 gasser, which isn't necessarily new, but here we go. All right, so we all know that Chevy changed the fuel system, so no, they no longer use the Bosch CP4 pump in the Duramax. Okay, they use the basically the Denso HP4 fuel pump, which has a lot of good improvements over it. There's a couple of mechanics that have came forward and said that it's kind of like a CP3. Nobody's knocking the Bosch. I mean, they've been around, but unfortunately with fuel impurities, lack of lubrication, stuff like that, it's had issues, and it can be somewhat catastrophic to most of the modern diesels. Ford still uses, if I recall right, the Bosch CP4, and we haven't had any problems with that at work, but again, they went to this Denso, and it seems to have made a huge improvement. In addition to that, they've also changed their injectors a while back, going to basically a solenoid style, which is a little bit more old school, and got rid of that piezoelectric unit. The fuel injectors and the pump are both made by Denso. So again, I see a lot of this Denso stuff and a lot of the generators and stuff we use at work. So it seems to be very dependable. It seems to be a good switch for the Duramax. And it does have a lot of things. When you go and compare the two online, you'll see that there are a lot of added benefits to doing that. Also, in addition to that, you guys know that a while back they went away from Garrett turbochargers and switched into a Borg Warner. And then, if I recall right, it's no longer an oil actuated turbo, and it's actually electronic. So it's electric actuated turbos. Okay, so I'm not a turbo engineer and stuff, so I'm looking at all the notes that I've taken, and it's kind of mind-blowing when they made these changes. I just really kind of I've never really seen a lot of issues with it, the emission control stuff. So, but it does handle boost better and everything like that, and these changes have been actually a lot better when it comes to the Duramax. All right, so not a lot of big news on the 6.6 gasser. other than they will continue to carry the service bulletin covering their 6 on oil consumption. They seem to justify this, and I've had lots of devout Chevy fans come in and say, oh, oil burning is normal. Listen, it is what it is. You know, everybody's going to have issues. Whether or not that's normal or not, I don't think it should be, but okay. But there's a lot of people that actually say they don't have this issue. But when I was talking to the reps, they said that service bulletin will now be extended to the 2024, 2023, and so on for the indefinite future while the 6.6 is around. The 6.6 will not get a boost in horsepower. All right, so now we got to talk about one of the biggest things, and this comes across a lot with my Ford guys, because everybody's saying that the new 6.8 has some type of half-ton transmission in it. That is not correct. It's basically the same exact torque shift transmission that is in the Power Stroke and in the 7.3 Godzilla. The baby Godzilla is getting the same transmission. However, they have changed some of the first 1, 2, 3 gear ratios and how those shift points are made, just a little bit different. But a lot of people seem to think that the 10-speed torque shift is built in conjunction with the Allison, and then there's people saying, well, the Allison is just actually it's a GM transmission that they got basically labeled as an Allison. Listen, Allison's approved it. Allison's stamping their name on it. I don't care if Smurfs are making this transmission. It's a dang good transmission, and it carries their name, carries their type of standard warranty, and of course, obviously, their quality control. So that's how that's going to play out. But a lot of people have said that the new one's going to get some type of detuned Allison transmission, and it is not true. Okay, from Chevy, from them directly, that is just not going to happen. And I'll tell you. So as I've told you guys before, I've driven the 6.6 with the 6-speed. I don't have any issues with that. Okay, it does just fine, and it is shown its longevity and everything like that. But when you start stepping up wanting better fuel economy, more ability out of that motor without actually giving it a boost of power, you're gonna have to do it some way. Whether you're gonna use gearing or you're gonna use improvement in a myriad of different ways. They decided to bring the 10-speed Allison to that. Now, both the L5P and the 6.6 gasoline are going to have the Allison 10L 1000 10-speed automatic. No different changes in gearing, nothing like that. Now, they may computer control the shift points and whatnot, and it's my understanding they have no intent on doing skip shifting. It's going to be sequential shifting. So I don't have a problem with that. But from Chevy, this is the same exact transmission. So if you don't want to spend the 10 G's on a Duramax and you're thinking gas might be a good option for you, which I think it really is, this 6.6 I think is a really good motor, especially if you're a GM fan, that's your only option. But at the end of the day, it is the same transmission, guys. So what better way? I mean, GM, I think, really mastered a long time ago by getting involved with Allison and bringing them in. We all know that Allison's in just about everything from RVs to semis, commercial motor vehicles. They're in box trucks. They're all over the place. But to bring that into the diesel was fantastic. But bringing this into the 6.6 gas, kind of like how Ford really invested in the 7.3, GM has said, okay, this is our next step. This is the evolution of our gas motors, going from the 6 liter to the 6.6. And we're now going to back it with a transmission that has the biggest name in the industry. So at the end of the day, guys, those have been some of the hottest questions. Trim levels. What's up with the L5P? Do I got to be worrying about blowing the fuel system up? No. I mean, it's possible. I suppose you put crap fuel in there. That's possible. But I mean, really, there's some caveats to doing your ordering. Make sure you do go to the dealer, sit down with them, and talk about it. And again, depending on where it's at in the ordering process, some things can be restricted, so expect that. But if it's your hard-earned money and you're dreaming about this Chevrolet that you got to have, you may just have to wait, okay? Unless you need your rig now, you might just have to wait. Allison transmission, same one, guys. So, and talking with the Chevy reps over there, it does sound like for the majority is you're going to be ordering 24s from this point out, even though the Chevy website is offering the 23. a lot of the options are just unavailable. So you're just going to be one to bump into a 2024 anyway. Having driven both of them, I don't think you go wrong with getting the L5P diesel. I had one. I think it's fantastic. And after having my buddies a while back that they've obviously done something with the grade braking and the brakes, because it did seem way better than it did on my 21. So at the end of the day, guys, please do hit the subscribe button, hit the like button for me. If you want to hear about more content, hit the notification bell. I try and get back to all y'all's questions when it comes to everything. Again, I am not just a GM fan. I'm not just a Ram fan. I'm not just a Ford fan. I've owned them all. I appreciate all of the aspects that they bring to the table. And I'm just trying to bring you true, real information. I'm buying these vehicles with my own money. I'm putting them to the test, and I'm going to tell you if they suck or they don't. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've liked over past versions with the new versions. And, I think right now that Chevy or GM and Ford are kind of heading the path in the right direction. And I'm excited to see what Ram's going to bring to the table later. Hopefully that crew cab, that true crew cab like their half tons. But at the end of the day, I do appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate y'all watching, and I will get back to all your questions. And again, guys, all of this is very fluid on how it changes. These manufacturers are going to shove these vehicles out. And if that means restricting a certain color or whatever for the time being on ordering so they can get more out, they're going to do that, okay? So if you see something drop off and you're like, wow, that kind of disappeared and it was an option I really wanted, then you really just have to sit back and say, can I wait a little bit longer, or am I willing to change that so I can get the truck now? Or does it benefit you maybe to go find a 23 that's more option than what you want if you don't care about the new tech that's in the trucks? So again, just because it falls off, it's not the end all. It's just something you need to confirm with your dealer. And there are, like I said, there's unicorn vehicles out there. I've had a lot of people say, you just can't order this, and that's never been. Nope, that's not the way it's been, actually. It's just right now, that's the way the ordering twists and turns. And again, they put that asterisk at the very beginning of that ordering process on the computer saying you may not be able to get this, and you may not be able to get it later. You might get it to, who knows, okay? You'll just have to have patience with this as the process goes, and as the supply chain starts filling up and fulfilling a lot of things, then maybe your options will be more available. So appreciate you guys being here. Let's see you on the next one.